Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Carrie. I am with Park Seeds app from Seed to Spoon. And then I am joined today with Jennifer, too, from Park Seed. Jennifer, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm the seed merchant here at Park Seed, and so excited to share the new varieties with everyone that we have for 2026.
I know. I will say I was actually sneaking a peek at a lot of these, and I'm so excited about several of them. I can't wait to share them and tell you all about it. They're going to be amazing. So many new things. How many new seeds did we get?
This was kind of a big year for us because we were not only brand new varieties, but bringing back some heirlooms and some seeds that we love but had had supply issues with. So I think the total is about 80 varieties this year.
Wow, that's incredible. I love it. Yeah, and so many like I feel like it was pretty about like half flowers, half vegetables, and there's a
Hmm.
lot of
Yep,
like
pretty
really
much.
unique colors and flavors and all of that in here. So,
Yeah,
and yeah, I
pretty
was gonna
much
say
a
I do
balance
want to
of
mention.
flower and veggie.
Yeah. I do want to hear from you all too as you're watching what you guys are excited to grow this year. If you guys are going to be growing any of these, I'd love to hear it. But every time you do comment too, comment in the comment section. Every time you do, you get entered in to win a chance of your pick of a pack of one of the free seeds that we're going to be talking about today. So that's exciting. Okay, let's jump right in because we have so many fun ones to talk about and show. So I'll let you take it, Jennifer.
All right, Carrie. So the first one that we have is an Ageratum Dondo Blue. It's a very nice variety for the cutting garden. Anybody that's heavily into cut flowers, this would be a very nice addition to your garden. It grows to about 2 feet tall. It's good for full sun or part shade. Um, so just a very nice garden plant that easily can be used in the cut flower arrangements.
Oh, that's great. I've grown this before, not this variety, but I've grown these before and they were so easy to grow too. I feel like I had very little care. I just kind of threw them in and they were, oh my gosh, so unique and beautiful, almost like fluffy looking flowers, I feel like.
Yeah, they're very fluffy. They do not require a whole lot of maintenance. They're just kind of carefree, and once you sow them, they just kind of take care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. Awesome. I'm excited to try a new one.
The next one is Morning Glory Morning Call. It's one of the earliest blooming Morning Glory varieties. It grows to about 4 feet or so, so it would require some trellising or some type of support. It has a nice color blend of white, blue, pink, kind of a purple shade, and then some of those have a nice white edge to them. It does.
Yeah.
I think this one actually does bloom about 3 to 4 weeks earlier than most morning glory. So this would be one of the first ones to bloom in the garden. It does like full sun. So plant it out where it would get a lot of sun during the day. It's also very easy maintenance, practically no maintenance. Just plant it and then let it go on the trellis or other support.
Yeah, I will say I've grown Morning Glory, and they do like everybody always talks about them. Very similar with mint because they do like to take over, and
Mhm.
they will be everywhere. But I love that problem, so I'm always for the Morning Glories. I love them.
And you do get a nice color blend with this particular mix.
I do love that it's a mixture of different colors there. That's beautiful. I really
So
like
you've got
that.
some of the cool tones and some of the darker
Yeah.
tones in the mix. We'll move on to the stock, the giant imperial mix. This one is kind of a standard for stock mixes. It's grown a lot for cut flowers. Most stocks do have a nice clove scent, and this one is very fragrant. It does also like full sun. I mean, it will do. It's also tolerant of cool season, but then it will also bloom right through the summer, and it also is a very nice color blend as well.
Great. I see it's an heirloom too.
Yeah, this it's been around for a long time. This is one of the varieties that we had included in our assortment some years ago, and we're now able to bring it back.
Oh, great. I've never grown it before. Is it an easy to grow one?
Yeah, it's easy. It's very easy to grow.
Nice.
Plant it. You can either direct sow it or, start it ahead before, 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost date, and set it out. I mean, it doesn't require a whole lot of watering. So just a nice, easy to grow, fragrant plant for the garden.
Great. I love that. I bet a lot of pollinators are attracted to that
Yes,
then. That's a
I
good.
did not mention that, but yes, the pollinators absolutely love this one.
Nice. Okay. Well, so far I need to add all three, I feel like, to the garden. I think that's how it's going to go. I'm probably going to want every single one of these.
So the next one is a very nice coleus. It's a new addition to the Premium Sun collection of coleus that have been around now for probably 10 or 12 years. This is a dark crimson color. These plants are very good for containers, mixed containers. They also do well in directly in the garden. The other the other colors in the series are more speckled, so this is one of the more solid colors that they've come out with. It does best in heat with high humidity. If you grow it in an area that has warm temperatures but low humidity, it might scorch. So just keep that in mind if it's in direct sun. If you're in one of those areas with high heat and low humidity, you might want to put it in an area that does get some shade.
Okay. Yeah,
But the premium,
I
go ahead,
like having
Carrie.
this because it adds a lot of color to like the foliage and like in places where I don't necessarily have a lot of color. I like to add the coleus there.
Yeah, and you know how coleus will bloom later in the season,
Yeah.
but this one is one of the ones that bloom later. So, they'll keep going until frost, but you can pinch the blooms to keep the foliage going.
Okay. Great. That's a good tip.
The next one is Black Eyed Susan Vine, a nice mix called Sunrise Mix. It has white, yellow, and orange, both with the eye and without the eye. And this is another vine that needs support. It will take off and grow very fast. So, Carrie, like you said about the morning glory earlier, it tends to want to take over. So you have to kind of keep it controlled. But the flowers are absolutely beautiful, and they will keep going all summer, right up until frost. But they do require a trellis, a fence, or some kind of support. They're also good for, a hanging basket. You're going to have a nice trailing plant
Yeah.
there that you may have to trim, but they also do nice in baskets as well.
We do have a question. Is the black-eyed Susan vine a perennial or annual?
This would be an annual.
Okay.
Next is one of my favorites, the Solarscape XL Brilliant Gems Mix.
Oh,
The
beautiful.
Solarscape XL has been around for it's been around for 4 or 5 years now, but this is a very nice color blend of light pink, fuchsia colors. It's a seed alternative to some of the more expensive vegetative um, impatient varieties that are good for sun. That I failed to point that out initially, but this is a very sun tolerant impatiens, something that your normal bedding varieties of impatiens are not sun tolerant at all. But beautiful plants for the garden, for a container on the patio. It blooms all summer. Not a whole lot of not a whole lot of maintenance, but they do require um, watering on a regular basis. So you don't want to let them get dried out. Otherwise, the plants will start to collapse a little bit. So be mindful of the watering, especially when the temperatures do get warm.
Yeah, that makes it. I love growing impatiens too. Those are probably one of my favorite shaded flowers, just because they're always so bright, and I'm always surprised that something so beautiful and vivid can actually be grown in the shade. I love it.
So next we have Pansy Top Wave Marina. Some of you may be familiar with Cool Wave pansies. So this is a big sister to Cool Wave. The Marina color is very nice. It's got that pearly blue violet color
Yeah,
with the whiskers and the throat. Absolutely gorgeous in baskets for fall and spring. Makes a nice big hanging basket or container because the plants trail probably 26 to 30 inches. So you're going to get a nice full container and an abundance of these beautiful blue
nice. That sounds
blooms.
beautiful.
Yeah, the blooms are about 25% larger than the Cool Wave. Cool Wave is
Wow.
1.5 to 2 inches, and this one is probably about 2.5 inches bloom
Wow,
size.
that is significantly larger.
Yeah,
Nice.
they are very, 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 very pretty. So I would suggest these as an addition to
Yeah,
fall or spring
sure.
for the
Yeah,
patio.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Another favorite, the double cascade bold mix. The old double cascade mix was more pastel colors. So now we have a vibrant, bold color mix of pink, red, purple, very, very pretty double blooms. These are very large double blooms. They're about 2.5 to 3 inches around, so you get nice blooms on your plants in the garden. This would also do very well in a container on the patio. You don't have to deadhead it. It is very tolerant and will bounce back after rain. A lot of petunias will kind of collapse, and
Mhm.
especially after a hard rain, sometimes takes a day or two for them to bounce back, but this one does bounce back rather quickly and just keeps going all season long.
Okay, I definitely need to add that then. I'm always a sucker
Yeah,
for petunia seeds, but those just they look so unique too. I love how like frilly they are. They don't look like classic petunias too. Like they're very unique. I like those a lot.
yeah, they almost look like kind of a peony shaped
Yeah. Yes.
bloom, and most of the flowers that you will see on these plants are doubles. I mean, you may see a single, sporadically, but it is predominantly a double flowered mix.
Hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm adding that to my list.
Add the next one to your list too.
I
This
will.
is new. This is a new color in the Easy Wave series. The waves, the original waves were introduced back in the early 90s, and then so we have original wave, tidal wave, easy wave, shock wave. All of those have different plant habit characteristics. The easy wave is very much more mounding and controlled than the original wave. So these plants are going to spread about 30 inches or so in the garden. Very nice, pretty bloom on this plant, the light pink. So it would be a very nice addition for the garden, or the easy waves are very nice for baskets and containers.
I'm always a sucker for anything pink too, so that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, it's very pretty because it's got the, you see it's got the very light veining
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
blooms. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very, very, very pretty.
Yeah.
So here
Ooh,
we have another
yeah.
one more wave in the shock wave, and the shock waves are the smaller plant habit out of all of the waves, and the flower size is smaller. So these flowers are 1.5 to 2 inches, where the easy wave would be about 2.5 inches. So you have smaller flowers, more of them, and then they also bounce back very nicely from rain. Don't have to deadhead them. They keep going all season long.
That is great. I'm always for the not as much care required because I mean, I plant so much, I get so excited, and then sometimes like I forget about certain baskets, like hanging baskets that I have around the house. So if I can forget to head deadhead sometimes, like that's incredible for me.
Yep, this is one that no deadheading is required. I mean, it's, and all of the waves are pretty much low maintenance plants,
Great.
and this one is no exception. And the beautiful color here with the rose with the darker veining in the center.
We did get a question about the petunia seeds. Do you know if they're pelleted?
Yes, all of the petunia seeds that we have displayed here are pelleted seeds, so they're much easier to handle and sow than the raw petunia seeds.
I agree. They are very tiny, tiny seeds. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
a fan of the pelleted.
yeah, the raw seed is so small you can, it's very hard to plant. Very hard to see how many seeds you really have.
Mhm.
So all of these are offered as pelleted seed.
Great.
The next one is Spider Flower Sparkler 2.0 mix. The original sparklers were introduced back in the early 2000s, and they've been revamped for more compact habit and more vibrant colors. So you've got a nice mix of white, rose, blush here. They are very tall plants, so this is something that you would want to plant in the back of the border, with, with smaller plants like marigolds or something in front of it. But beautiful color. They'll keep going all summer, and just a nice improvement over the original sparklers.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't grown those myself, so that they look very unique. I like the look of them.
Yeah, I will confess I've never grown any of those in the garden either, but they are just very pretty. So I may give them a try this year too with this new mix we have here.
Yeah. Yep. They're gorgeous.
Next we have Marigold Illumia Vanilla Cream. We had offered this variety several years ago, but had lost, seed availability was very short. So now we're glad to have it back. The color is very, very pretty. On anemone flowered marigold. This marigold's only going to get about 10 to 12 inches tall, but you're going to have an abundance of these beautiful blooms all summer long. So just very excited to be able to offer this one again to
They look
customers.
very unique looking. I wouldn't have get like they don't look like a traditional marigold at all. They're very unique. I like them a lot.
No, it's the, the nice anemone open flowered
Yeah.
marigold, not the pom pom type marigold blooms that you're used to seeing
Yeah.
on a lot of marigold varieties. So yeah, this one is one for sure that you should try. You will not be disappointed.
Nice. Well, great. I'm always looking for marigold varieties, so I will definitely give that a try.
Next is a nice aster. Last year we introduced the Parts Picks mix. So this
Ooh.
is a individual color that we've brought into the assortment this year. A beautiful apricot color. This so much looks like a peony bloom. Very nice cut flower. Mixes well with, other pastel colored flowers in an arrangement. It's very easy to grow. These blooms are large. They can get up to 4 inches across, and plants are 24 to 36 inches tall, and it blooms from midsummer into the fall.
Oh
So
man,
anybody that's
definitely
into
gonna need to try
flowers,
those.
yeah,
Gorgeous.
very, 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 very pretty.
Yeah. We did get a question and from Cami. She was saying, "Can seeds be easily collected from them?" I'm not sure if she was asking about the marigold or the aster seeds, or um, but
The marigold, no, but the aster, you would be able to collect the seeds from it. I would not recommend if she was asking about the marigold, I would not recommend seed collection from
okay.
it.
Is the aster full sun?
Yes, it would be full sun. It tolerates some partial shade, but it would prefer full sun.
Yeah, I am in love with that. With all three of these right now, I am just gushing over right now in my head. I'm like, I want them all.
Next, we have calendula neon, and this is a rather unique color.
Yes.
Calendulas with the orange bloom with the red crimson tips. It is also a nice cut flower, and I will point out that calendulas are edible. And they also have medicinal purposes as well. So this plant would be a nice addition to the garden, multi-purpose plant. It likes full sun, and it gets to be about 24 inches tall. So not a real tall plant, but very, very nice.
Yeah, I love calendula. I just recently started growing them like last year, I believe it was, and I was in love with them. They performed so well for me, and I was like, these are gorgeous. And plus I use them a lot as companion plants too, to help like around my tomatoes and peppers and plants like that, and they worked incredible. I Yeah, you're definitely talking about multi-purpose. I was like, there's so many purposes and so many reasons to grow calendula, but they're also just gorgeous too. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
and they're very, very easy, low maintenance plant. So if you're looking for something low maintenance, this would
yeah.
be a very nice choice. Next, we have cornflower graciosa. It is a lavender companion to the broad. They both have a lovely white chocolate vanilla scent, and they are absolutely pollinator magnets. So, nice addition to the garden to draw in all of the hummingbirds and butterflies. I will point out that this one is best direct sown. I would not recommend starting it, inside and transplanting it. It does
Okay,
not like that.
that's a good tip. After last frost.
Yes, it would have to be sown out after last frost.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I definitely love the looks of this, so I really want to try this myself too.
it does have a rather strong, white chocolate vanilla scent to it. So that's another plus.
Nice. That sounds beautiful.
So to get the Carrie, if you're going to get this one, get the bride too. It's a solid white version, and then
Oh,
you can have both of them.
I love it.
Yeah, and
I
they do
love
make nice cut flowers too.
Awesome. I do like putting cut flowers behind me in the because I'm sitting here in my dining room. I like having like cut flowers like all behind me and on the table right here with me. It's always so nice.
All right, these are two of my favorites. Double Dutch Pink Cosmos, a
Mm.
nice double cosmos in a very soft pink color. Um, these blooms are also reminiscent of penny shape, and these plants do get rather tall, up to about 4 foot. So you would want to put them in the back of the border with, the smaller size plants in front. Also makes a very nice cut flower. Pollinators like it, low maintenance. It is somewhat tolerant of dry soils, and it will continue to bloom all summer long.
Yeah, I will say cosmos are probably one of the easiest flowers. I mean, besides like zinnias are and sunflowers are pretty simple too. But I mean, cosmos, I quite literally feel like I just go out and toss seeds, and they always will thrive for me. So it's one of those very simple to grow, very great for beginners.
Yeah, Cosmos is a great item for beginner gardeners. So this is a beautiful color here. This would be a nice choice for someone that's never tried Cosmos before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very excited about the coneflower mix. This is a nice color mix of seed grown varieties. You're going to get cream, pink, orange, red, yellow, and all with different flower shapes. So as you see in the
Wow.
picture, some have the flat blooms. You've got some with the fluted fluted blooms, and then some with the droopy kind of blooms. So you've got a nice assortment here. It is a first year flowering perennial. So you will get blooms the first year, and they grow to about 28 to 32 inches tall.
Wow. Are these easy to start by seed too?
Yep, start them ahead. I would think you would want to start these probably 6 to 8 weeks ahead, and then transplant
Okay.
them out to get a good start in the garden. I would recommend starting these ahead and not direct sowing.
Okay. Great. Okay, let's
Yeah.
move on to some new veggies. I know those were amazing and gorgeous flowers. I probably will order way too many of them, but I'm very excited. I can't wait to talk about these new vegetable seeds, and I already am excited about all three of these.
So we do have some um, brand new veggies that we're added to the assortment this year, and then some heirloom varieties that we've brought back or that are new additions as well. The New Zealand spinach, it's not a true spinach, but it is a spinach alternative for summer production. Um, Regular spinach does not do very well in the heat at all, but the New Zealand spinach does. It has the same taste and uses in the kitchen as regular spinach, but will give you a crop during the summertime, and it's also rich in vitamin K, B6, and C.
Yeah,
So
I'm
if
very
you look,
excited about this because in the summertime, I always miss my spinach and lettuce and like all of the greens. And I am always looking for alternatives and things that I can eat the greens of so I can still be having like fresh salads and things like that in the summer. So this is amazing. I love it.
yeah, so this is your spinach alternative to grow in the summer when your spinach varieties will give up and will
Yeah,
no longer grow. Next item is quick snack cucumber. It's part of the Kitchen Minis collection, which, Carrie, I know you are a big fan of the
I
Kitchen Minis.
yes, I love them. I actually have several behind me. I have the Kitchen Mini tomato right here. I have the Kitchen Mini basil, and then off camera, I have a Kitchen Mini pepper back there on my windowsill. I love them. They're little tiny pots. They get to be like a foot tall. They give me so much fruit. I love it. So I can't wait to grow this cucumber. I have a couple started already because I wanted to get them ahead of time. So I already have some going right now. They're about this.
Awesome. The the Kitchen Minis were um, bred for countertop inside growing, and the cucumber produces fruit about, it's best picked when it's about 3 inches long and preferably grown in a 6 to 8 inch pot, and put it on the sunny windowsill, and you will have an abundance of small cucumbers. I will put this out there too. We do offer several of the other Kitchen Mini varieties, tomato, pepper, and the basil. So
Yeah.
you can have a nice countertop um, little garden of all
Mhm.
kind of veggies that you don't have to have a big garden to have.
Absolutely, and I mean, that's probably my biggest thing is because, like, I can just grow these indoors, and I can have tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers, like, year round.
Yep.
It's oh, yeah, it's just the best, and you don't have to have a lot of space, like you said. You literally just a countertop, a windowsill, like, anything like that, you can grow them. It's perfect.
Yeah, they are very nice and perfect for somebody that doesn't have space, to grow outside, or for, people that just want to have a year-round supply of fresh veggies.
Are they disease resistant?
That's a good question. I'm honestly not sure about the disease resistance package on this one,
But I
but
will say most of these are gonna be grown indoors too, so you probably won't really have to worry much
right,
a lot.
you would not have the disease um, pressure that you would growing outside.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Next, we have rainbow corn. This is an ornamental corn, as you can see from the photo, a mixture of different colors on the cobs. It is recommended to let these dry on the stalks before you pick them. And so this is something that would be ideal for fall decor, that you can grow right at home in the garden.
Those
These
are
are not recommended for eating. They're not the
oh, bummer.
tastiest corn. Yeah. So I would recommend them for ornamental use only.
Well, bummer. I love growing and eating, like, unique colored foods. Anything that's, like, looks different, I'm always like, "Ooh, I wanna try it."
Yeah, this one is, I mean, there are some, ornamental corns that still have the taste as well, but this one is not recommended for its eating quality.
But it is very beautiful, I will say, and it
Yeah.
would be perfect, like you said, for fall decoration, like, I mean, gosh, yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, it is very nice for fall decorations. And next we've got County Fair cucumber. This variety has been around for a long time. For pickling, it's best picked at about 3 inches long. I mean, it will grow longer than that. Longer than that, if you let it go in the garden, probably up to 5 or 6 inches. It does have a very thin skin and non-bitter, and will remain seedless if you keep it isolated from other cucumber varieties.
Okay, that's great.
But it is one of the more popular varieties for pickling.
Okay. That's good to know. I do like to get the smaller ones for pickling, so I'm excited to try these.
Yeah, this would be a good one for that purpose.
And
Um,
these will grow like I will need a trellis for this one too, right? Because it's a large growing.
yeah, it would need either area for it to run and spread out on the ground or some kind of support. Next, we have blue curled Scotch kale. This one also is known as Vate's kale. It is probably the premier variety in curled kale. Does very well in fall and winter production. I mean, it will even withstand some snow. So very, very resistant to cold weather. Not recommended for the summer heat. It will bolt in summer, so fall or early spring production would be best. Has a very nice taste. Very easy to grow. It's been around for a long time. It's a tried and true variety.
I do feel like poor kale gets a really bad rap. People do
It
not like,
does.
but I actually do really like growing it and adding it. Now I don't make myself just a entire kale salad. Like I will mix in everything, a little bit of everything. Like whenever I make a salad or I get greens for a wrap or things like that, I get some pieces of lettuce, some spinach, some Swiss chard, some kale. Like I add it all together. And I feel like like everything has a purpose. And I do like the taste of kale, especially, I mean, not store-bought kale. It just has zero flavor, but whenever you grow it yourself, it just tastes so much better.
Yeah, it is so much better grown in your own garden. And this one, to me, is not real strong. Has some kale or have just a real strong taste. This one is more mild. So a very nice, very nice choice if you want to add a kale to the garden. The
Real
next,
quick, back on those cucumbers, we did have a question about the disease resistance. So Cami said she was trying to find a good pickling cucumber that's disease resistant.
so the county fair does have good disease resistance. It's resistant to cucumber mosaic virus and powdery mildew, which are two of the diseases that will normally get a cucumber. So yeah, this one will be a good one because it does have a nice disease package.
Okay, great.
Next is one of my favorites, Star of David okra. This variety has been around for a long time as well, but the pods have a nice star shape, and you can see that once they're cut. It's very, very pretty. It's good for um, boiling, frying, pickling. The pods would be best picked when they're about 3 inches. If you're going to pickle them, they can get a little larger for regular eating, but as most people would know, the larger a pot of okra gets, the tougher it gets.
Hmm.
So I would not let these go over about 5 inches, but this is one of the absolute best okra varieties out there, in my opinion.
Awesome. I did not grow okra last year. I missed my window to plant it and I missed having it. I really did because I love having okra. It is so dependable in like the crazy high temperatures over the
Yes.
summer. And when nothing else is producing for me, okra always produces for me. So I definitely need to. And I'll give this one a try. Those look really pretty and unique. I like that.
And you made a good point there that okra does like heat. I mean, it does not do well in cool weather. And once it starts producing in the heat of the summer, it will continue on into the fall. It will continually produce a crop of these nice pods. See, next up, we've got onion red grano. This is a short day onion, so it is good for southern gardens with a mild or somewhere that has a mild winter climate. It matures in about 120 days, and it's not a real strong onion. It has a pretty mild flavor, so nice for salads or for like putting on burgers. It does not have a very extended shelf life. It would store for probably a couple of weeks, but it is not an extended storage onion.
It's good to know.
Next is a variety that has been around for, it seems like forever. Sweet banana pepper. It is an heirloom. It actually won an AAS award in 1941, so that
Wow.
kind of tells you how long it's been
Yeah.
around. It matures from green to red. It does have a very mild taste for um, slicing. It can be used for pickling, for pepper rings, pickling those. But just a staple in the garden as far as banana peppers go.
I like it. I always have a whole bunch of different pepper seeds, especially like I do a mixture of like the sweet and banana and hot, and so that way like the kids and I can have the sweeter stuff, and then my husband wants the hot
Wants
pepper.
the hotter.
Yeah, but I love these. I'm definitely gonna give these a try too. I think I've said that about most of them, but
And they do continuously produce, so you will have a nice crop of peppers if you
well,
grow
good.
the sweet banana peppers.
We do a lot of pickling of peppers around here, so it's very easy to do, and it's a very easy way to help like to preserve the peppers too. So
All right, next is Summer Melody Blend Squash. This is a mixture of three zucchini and a scallop. So it has a gold, a dark green, and then a mottled colored zucchini, and then the white scallop. So these
huh.
squashes have multiple uses. You can eat them sliced fresh in a salad, for cooking, frying, stir fries. The scallop is good for baking. I mean, squash is a relatively short time crop, so you would get fruit within 45 to 60 days of transplant, and squashes bear abundantly. While they're producing, they do not like it when it gets really hot or really humid. They'll start to cease their production, but very good early season crop.
We did get a question from Roberta. She says, "I love squash, but I get squash bugs almost every year. Any way to combat that?" Yeah, I mean, you and me both. Squash bugs, I feel like, are inevitable in the garden, and they are my worst nemesis, literally out in the garden. The best tips that I have, at least, maybe Jennifer has some too. There is a variety of squash called the blue Hubbard squash that squash bugs especially like. And if you plant this very, very early in the season, they will be all attracted to it. So all of the squash bugs that were already in your garden from last season, they will all go to that one squash plant, your sacrificial squash plant, and then you wait for them to all be there and then bag it all up and get rid of it. um, or you can, flamethrow it if it's legal in your area. Um, that is one of the best tips that I have gotten for my garden, and we've done it a few times, and it actually works really well. Having just the sacrificial squash plant in the very, very beginning of the season. Otherwise, I mean, it really is just making sure you keep up with checking the undersides of your leaves, and I take like a little lint brush roller out with me. I know some people take like little vacuums out there with them, so anytime that there's like a squash bug or eggs or something like that, you just suck them up or roll them up and Yeah, honestly, it just keeping on top of it is the best way because once they get out of hand, they're out of hand.
Yeah, I would agree. You have to keep them under control, and your idea of the sacrificial plant is probably about the best idea to keep them controlled and out of the garden.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, because they will just all congregate right there. They're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, feast, early feast." And I'm like, "Yes, haha."
We have brought back the one of the garden favorites, the Rutgers VF tomato. This tomato has been around for a very long time too. It was originally bred for the tomato producers in New Jersey back in the 1920s, and then Rutgers University did some breeding work on it, and it was this VF was introduced in the 1940s. It is a garden staple for canning or juicing. You get a very good crop of nice sized tomatoes. It is determinate, so you get your crop in about a 3 week period, but that's ideal for canning or juicing or saucing purposes. So just a very good staple variety for the garden. Great for fresh eating too, but mainly used for canning.
Great. I am always looking for a really good bush variety of tomatoes that don't take up quite as much space on because I have limited trellis space. So anytime I find a really good tomato that's a bush tomato, I get real excited. So I haven't heard of this one myself, so it's definitely one that I will give a try to.
And it does have the verticillium and fusarium disease resistance, so that's an added plus
Great.
to this tomato. A good one for you to try.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely will.
Next, we have Bean Provider, and this is available in organic seed. This one also has been around for a very long time. It's a very prolific producer of beans. You can have beans all season, and one of the pluses is it is tolerant of cool soil, so it can be direct sown earlier in the garden than other bean varieties. Other bean varieties will not germinate very well when the soil is cool, but Provider is different there. So good for the early garden. It does have disease resistance to common bean mosaic, downy mildew, and powdery mildew. And it is a bush variety, so does not require any
All right.
support. Next is snowball cauliflower. Is also available in organic seed. This is a very popular variety because it is self blanching, and that means that the plant itself, the leaves will cover the head so that it turns white, whereas in a lot of cauliflower varieties, you have to tie them so to cover the head so it doesn't get the sun and then it turns white. So this one does that all by itself and it matures in about 80 days.
That is a problem that I typically have with cauliflower. That's why I like to grow the colorful cauliflowers so I don't
Mhm.
have to worry as much about
So
the
you don't
sun.
have that problem.
Yeah, but this is a great alternative if I wanted to grow white cauliflower. That's if it does it itself, I'm all
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it takes care of that all by itself. So not a good variety to try for a white cauliflower. Let's see. Next, yes, we have Swiss chard Fort Hook Giant. This is also an heirloom variety, about 60 days from direct sow. You've got the nice white stalk and the frilly green leaves, high in vitamin A, C, and K, and produces very abundantly, even up to a hard frost.
Nice. I actually really like Swiss chard. I had never, well, the first time I tried it in the summer and I wouldn't recommend that. harvesting it when it's cold out makes a huge difference on the
Yeah.
flavor for Swiss chard. And I am a huge fan when it is harvested in the cool. Like it tastes so good and it's so crisp and unique. Like I love growing Swiss chard.
Yeah, it's much tastier in cool season. When, like you said, when you get into the summer, it just gets very
Like bitter almost.
bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good then. It's much better in the cool season.
Yeah.
Next is one of my favorites. It's a new introduction this year, tomato saucy lady. The
The name.
seed supplier, very I love the name. And
It's
the seed supplier says this is the best saucing tomato that they have ever offered and tried. So for sure you want to give this one a try. It produces 4 to 6 ounce fruits. It's also a determinate plant,
great.
and very anxious to try this one in my garden too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm adding this one to my virtual list too because like I said, I really want to grow a lot more bush tomatoes. So that's amazing to have another option here. And plus who
So
doesn't
yeah,
want something called Saucy Lady? I love it.
I know the name is absolutely great, and you can use it for fresh eating or use it for saucing or canning. Then we have Blue Lake FM1 bean. This is a pole bean. It's also been around for a while. Favorite of gardeners for canning and freezing. Produces for an extended period. Pods are stringless and have white seeds and about normal bean size, about 6 inches long. Just make sure you have a trellis or some other kind of support in the garden for this one. Next, we have Henderson's Lima Bean. This is an heirloom variety, very heat tolerant, produces an abundance of pods with 3 to 4 beans per pod. It is a bush, so it doesn't require um, any type of support, but very good if for anybody that likes llamas. This one would be a nice choice to add to the garden.
Nice. I haven't ever grown them before, so yeah.
I'm personally a very big lima bean fan.
Yeah.
Any kind of bean like this, and this one is very good and not difficult to shell either, because that's what keeps I think a lot of people from growing, butter beans or llamas, because you've got to split that shell open.
Yeah.
So, all right, next we've got an heirloom cutting blend of lettuce. It's 3 romaines, a loose leaf, an oak leaf, a butterhead, and an iceberg. So big variety here in one mix of
That's
heirloom
not
varieties. You can get a crop for cutting in about 30 to 40 days, and just a cut and come again mix here, to keep you supplied
perfect.
in salad greens.
Yeah, this is perfect, and that's a great variety of a bunch of different ones that I love, and that's typically what I do whenever I harvest was is go pull a bunch of different varieties. So all in one right there, that's perfect.
Yep, you got an assortment
Colors
all in
too.
one packet.
Nice. That's great.
Next, we have a brand new introduction, pepper sugar rush peach. This is a hot pepper. It came from the breeding of Chris Fowler in Wales, and I don't know how many people have heard of Chris Fowler, but he is a hot pepper, chili pepper fanatic. Even the New York Times named him the Pope of Peppers. And this was from some accidental breeding in his pepper garden. So you've got this nice peachy color, but a very hot pepper. It's 50 to 100,000 Scoville. So this one is pretty warm. So use it with caution if you don't like really hot peppers, but very prolific producer of fruit. So
Wow.
if you like hot peppers, this would be a good one for you to try this year.
Awesome. Looks like Alicia was saying Sugar Rush Peach is her favorite pepper to grow. So that's awesome. Ooh, peach hot sauce with it? Oh, that sounds amazing.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yes.
So we have a micro clover and fescue lawn mix. This is an alternative to a normal lawn. It's three fescues and a clover. It's very low maintenance. I mean, it's pretty much no mow. It grows to about 6 inches tall. So you've got the clover that adds nutrients to the soil and chokes out the other weeds. And then the fescue is heat tolerant, semi drought tolerant. Once this gets established, I mean, you've got you a no maintenance lawn here.
That's nice. I I've always wanted to do this. So I accidentally planted mint in my lawn, not on purpose. I don't know how it happened, but I have mint growing everywhere. And I guess at some point I accidentally dropped a cutting of mint in there, and now I have like a little section of mint in my grass. I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, I
Yeah.
like it. Every time we run over it with the lawnmower, it smells so good too. And I'm like, but like I love this idea too because it helps bring in all sorts of pollinators. I know
Yes.
I have some clover in my garden too, and like the bees are just everywhere, all over it all the time. Like it's just one of the most amazing things you can do to bring in more pollinators to your yard.
Yeah. When the clover blooms, I mean, you will have bees galore.
Yes. Yes. And they will stick to it. So if you're anything like me and I was terrified of the bees before, like you don't have to worry about it. Like they keep to their themselves for the most part.
Yeah. They just want the clover blooms.
Yeah, I know. They could care less about me.
Next, we have Moon and Stars watermelon. This is an heirloom, and interestingly enough, it was bred by the same company years ago that the Henderson's llama was.
Oh,
So some um, breeding there from an old reputable company. It gets its name from the modeling on the rind. You see the very small yellow
yeah.
flecks
That's
or
what
the
I'm looking at. I was
stars.
like, it almost looks painted. Like
And
it's
then the
really unique.
the random larger ones are the moon. Has a
Oh,
nice red flesh, and you'll have melons 20 to 30 pounds, so a very nice size
wow. Yeah, that
melons,
sounds
very,
really nice.
very sweet flavor.
And
And then
then one more.
finally, we have cayenne pepper, long red slim. This is an old variety too, a garden staple. So if you are in need of a cayenne pepper, this would be a very easy to grow one to try in the garden. Turns from green to red. It is hot. It has 30 to 50,000 Scoville, so not as hot as the Sugar Rush peach, but still packs some heat.
Yeah, my cayenne peppers always do just incredible. I feel like I'm always overwhelmed with extra cayenne peppers because they just produce and produce and produce. So
Yeah,
it's
they never stop, and I mean, and they're good for you can dry them too. So if you have
yes.
extra, that's always an alternative.
Yeah, that is what I usually do at the end of the season. I dry them and then I grind them up and I make like little red pepper flakes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, I think that is our last one that we were talking
that
about.
is.
There were so many fun and amazing varieties there. Thank you for showing them to us. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're very exciting group of new items this year.
Yes, absolutely. And if you guys watching have any questions after the fact, you can pop them into the chat too, and we'll keep an eye in here too. And we do have a giveaway too. So the lucky winner that gets to pick out their very own pack of seeds from what we talked about today, which would be a very hard thing to do if it were me.
That would be a hard choice.
To Cami. So send me an email. This email will go directly to me at info@seedtospoon.net, and I'll get you all hooked up with your seeds. So go through and pick out your free seeds that you want. It'll be exciting. I'm excited for you. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining. And like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out. We're happy to
Thank you
help.
all so much.
Bye, everybody.